Right.
Yeah. Buddha peso. Smoking mirrors uncut. Listen, it's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. Yeah. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us. Listen, smoking mirrors be the station. Them boys uncut raw, no hesitation. Just tune in, the vibes are so amazing. It's all real talk here, that's word to Jason. Shout out to Jay Lee, them boys on a mission. Gunning for the #1 spot, pay attention. Knocking out the competition, Sonny listen. In Detroit, serving game like a piston. Shot clock, jump shot, all net with a feeling. The squad set it off, cause a riot in the building. Syndicates to bed, this ain't suited for the children. And talking cheap when they speak, you see millions. Turn it up one time. If you looking for smoke, then pull it up online. It's right there. Look in the mirror, first glance, it's quite clear. That B-more got them scared like a nightmare. They blowing smoke to any city, take a flight there. And guaranteed to ring bells like a bike fair. Then Debo the whole set, they don't fight fair. Cause smoking mirrors gaining buzz like a light, yeah. You know? Raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Smoking mirrors, raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Yeah, it's smoking mirrors, raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Yo.
Mm.
Welcome to another episode of Smoking Mirrors Uncut. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Lee. We got your boy B Moore,
Yo.
your boy Detroit,
Chill.
and we got a crew of special guests on the day.
Oh, crew.
Whole crew. So we got a local trendsetter. They call him by the name of Twin.
What's going on,
He on
people?
the set.
Rude boy.
And we also got some Chicagoans on set.
Mm-hmm.
We got the lovely lady Arie.
Hey.
What up?
And we got our boy Chris on.
What's
You
up,
hear me,
King?
Chris?
How y'all doing?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, y'all barely.
You barely hear us? You might have to turn your volume up.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get this started. Thank everybody for coming in. Thank you for everybody for tuning in.
The typing bad work.
Yeah.
Say that again. But so we brought the Chicagoans on today.
The background noise got work.
You said you got background noise?
Try
Yeah.
man. I was gonna say try coming out and coming back in if you can.
I hear a little bit of it too.
You hear a little bit too?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it
It
just
might have been
went
coming
out.
from his phone.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's,
It
it's
just,
gone
it just
now.
went. It's gone
It
now.
did. It did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know who was the culprit.
Yeah.
I'm
Shade.
gonna apologize to Arie for blaming her earlier.
Oh, you blame me.
No, we thought it was you at first.
Because
Remember?
we didn't have that problem at
Yeah.
first.
I mean,
Oh, so
but
you
it's
think
still,
that I'm the problem?
No, you know you the problem.
Oh, my
You didn't
God.
mean
That
fuck.
could be a problem. Shit,
Look,
if
it
you
still
want
was
the problem,
Chi-Town. Like, it was
Oh,
moving
my
from
God.
I got
Chi-Town,
it.
though, right? It moved
If
from
you want the
Chi-Town,
smoke,
right?
I got it. Okay.
Let's go then. Let's go.
Look, I
Let's
named
go.
the smoking mirrors for a
Let's
reason.
go.
Look, I warned y'all when I got her. I said she's gonna be a problem. Let y'all know. So,
Let's go.
but all right, Chris is coming back in right now.
All
We're
right.
gonna see if it fixes. You good, Chris?
Yeah. Maybe it was
Yeah, that's a
me.
lot better. A lot
Yeah,
better.
that is better.
Okay.
I just want you to know, Chris, that they thought it was me, but it's really you.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
said. Maybe it was me. I said maybe.
Maybe.
He said baby now.
Maybe. Maybe. Don't push the maybe, baby.
So we brought the Chicagoans on because I felt like it would be good to have you guys on, just the simple fact that you guys live there. We always hear on the news about Chicago, death, murder, all this other stuff. and we want to know what y'all thoughts was on that, and how y'all feel about Black Lives Matters being out there, and also the recent looting that just happened over that murder by the police officer. So we're gonna start off with Ari. How you feel about all that?
I can see it from both sides. I can see why people loot, but sometimes the looting. My thing about that is that businesses have insurance, so you can go in there and you can steal all the shit that you want to fucking take. That's not a problem, but it's like get the whole story too, because a lot of times the motherfuckers here in Chicago they start looting just because somebody got popped. But what happened prior to that? You know, like the last time recently, I believe that they have mentioned that a young man got shot by police and they started looting. Come to find out, he shot at the police first and they shot back. So it's
Really?
like, let's get the bigger picture of things. You know, it's like I understand the purpose behind looting. I get it. But at a certain point, it's just motherfuckers stealing, you know, just trying to take shit.
Right.
It's no real like goal behind it because these be legit ass hood niggas out here just breaking into shit.
Right.
You know,
right.
and frankly, I'm sick of it because, you know, this affects my neighborhood, you know, where I live. You know, luckily, you know, I'm able to work from home, so I don't have to go downtown. But if I did have to go downtown, you know, they were stopping public transportation. I would have to take public transportation to get to work because I'm not trying to drive my car downtown. You know, they lifting the bridges because they don't want people downtown and they're protecting an area that is insured. So that's a problem for me. I really just wish niggas would chill a little bit though.
Right.
Because it's really not accomplishing nothing.
Right.
And another thing about that is that they're breaking into stores in their own neighborhoods. So we're talking about food deserts. You know, we're talking about neighborhoods that are essentially segregated from other neighborhoods because Chicago is basically on a grid. So, you know, all our streets either go north and south or east and west. If you pull up a map of Chicago, you'll see that all the neighborhoods are in like blocks. You know what I'm saying? Squares. So people have been looting in their own neighborhoods where the next grocery store is miles away, you know, or the next place where you can get essential items is miles away. So it's like they're taking away their own resources from their neighborhood from people that could potentially not be able to travel outside of that neighborhood. So where does that leave that community?
Right.
You know, like looting downtown is one thing, but when you go into the places where you lay your head, where Big Mama stay, you know, and she get her diabetes drugs, her insulin from the local grocery store, but she can't get that shit because y'all done fucked it up, and now it's boarded up. Then what do?
Right.
So
Right.
I mean,
okay,
it is what it is.
So, how do you feel about the murders the murders going on and stuff like that? Like, have you been around any of that in your area? A lot of the murders, because it seems like every weekend 20, 30 people getting murdered.
I mean, I live in the hood,
Mm,
and I've always lived in the hood. You know, I live on
right.
63rd. That young man, that rapper, I don't even know that young man's name, who got killed a couple weeks ago. He's from literally, I could walk to where he's from my old house.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
like my neighborhood where I'm from is generational. So
Okay.
my grandmother, she got her building from her uncle. You know, passed that down to my aunt. My mom has a building on that same block. I live currently walking distance from there. So, you know, like I've been in the hood all my life, but I don't see what the news portrays.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what I wanted to get at, because honestly, I'm tired of, like, I remember, you know, I grew up born and raised in Baltimore, and I remember they were saying some of the same things about Baltimore City, and it's like, yeah, they just painting that picture because it really ain't like that. Don't get me wrong, bad stuff happens. It definitely happens, but they make it seem like anywhere you walk in the city, you can't walk, you can't, you can't be outside. It's like they make it look crazy. So, Chris, what you think? What is your opinion on that?
He putting his head.
As far as
Right.
the numbers that they give us every week, is that my phone or hers?
It's yours, but go ahead.
As far as
Go
the
ahead.
numbers every week, I don't believe it.
You
I
don't
really don't.
you don't
I
believe
don't
like
either.
the amount of
Um,
so the amount
especially
of deaths
you know,
and
since I get a lot of because of who I work for. I get a lot of calls on a daily basis. I'm not a cop before y'all. So that's what y'all think. But I work for the transit authority there, and I just can't see it. We do have
I don't
murders.
either.
Like I was telling y'all earlier, I came outside one day and my car was taped off within a crime scene because somebody got killed over there. And then my boy's little brother got shot probably about 6 blocks away from me. He got killed actually. So but I don't see it
Right here.
happening all the time. Like they say, 60 and 50. And then I got a lot of people that live in Chicago. So we don't have a lot of. I got a lot of friends. We don't have a lot of people here saying that my cousin got shot, or 10 people in their family got shot or stuff like that. I do have one of my
really.
friends. He got 2 family members that got shot over the past 2 weeks though. Actually, over there, I think by that where you were saying that guy that got shot downtown, there's something going on in that area. So two of his
Yeah.
cousins were shot over there, and
So
it's really retaliation.
so most of the stuff that y'all hear of deaths in Chicago is all usually gang violence, right?
Not always. I mean,
I
sometimes
ain't
it
gonna.
is, sometimes it's not. I'm not gonna say always. I mean, some people are innocent bystanders for shit because niggas
I'm,
don't know how to shoot. They don't know how to aim. So a lot of times people get
True that.
shot because niggas don't know how to handle a gun. It's not like they go into the range. It's not like they're trying to practice and try to learn how to properly shoot a gun. It's not any of that. They still hold the pistol sideways. They not recognizing
Do
the
they
kickback of
really?
a gun and none of that. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know how to shoot, period.
So, I mean, do you think that's what it is, or do you think that they just not getting up on their target? They trying to
That's
shoot them
definitely
from
what it is
across the
because we're
street.
talking about niggas shooting in environments where it's a bunch of people and it's kids getting shot.
Wow.
So it's like you're shooting in areas where with a bunch of people. If you was a shooter, if you knew how to shoot, then you was gonna hit your mark.
Well,
They don't know how to shoot.
well, and this is what I'm saying. Only reason I mention that is because, again, I grew up in an era of Baltimore when, I mean, killing happens. All right, so we're gonna get that out the way and understand that all of it is bad. All of it is bad. Period. Right. But I'll
Right.
say this: one thing that I could agree with is in Baltimore they walk up on you. They're not taking no chances. I'm not doing no drive by. I'm not doing no nothing. I'm coming right up to you and hitting who I want to hit. Nobody else. Nobody else is getting hurt. You know what I mean? Again, I don't agree with killing, period. But if you in that line, if you in that type of lifestyle, at least you're doing it that way and you're not hitting nobody that's innocent, nobody that's that's out there. So that's why I said that, because that's how they did it in B-more. It wasn't
I
no
mean,
across the street type of shooting. It wasn't no, it wasn't none of that. They walking up on you.
they're not doing it though. So like they're not doing that. I don't know if y'all heard about it was in the news and everything, it was well over Twitter about the people who did a drive by at a funeral.
No.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
heard
they
about
they
that.
shot like 14 people
Yeah.
got shot at a funeral of a gangster. Okay. So I know real hitters. You know what I'm saying? These niggas aren't real hitters. They're just not. Now, okay, let's keep this in mind. I'm 31. You know what I'm saying? I got 8 uncles. You know what I mean? So I know gangsters from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I know gangsters in Chicago. I know hitters in Chicago. I know drug dealers in Chicago. I know all of that in Chicago. These niggas here that are out here shooting niggas aren't any of that. They're just
Right.
not. You know, you can just tell by the way that they move that they aren't.
Right.
You know,
Right.
people who are real hitters go by a certain type of code. Kids are completely off limits.
At the
Off
same
limit.
time, though,
Right.
at the same time, when they locked up, when they started locking up all the heads of the actual gangs that was here in Chicago, that's when everything went
Went south.
haywire. So
Yep.
Okay.
when they cut off communication between Mr. Hoover and Chief Malik,
Mhm.
and then you got people that got killed off at the
Mhm.
same time. And,
There was no structure.
those kids now don't respect the path that was laid before them. You know, we got
Mhm.
when I was out here, we had literature and everything. You can act they
Yep.
guilty by association now.
Yep. I
It's
agree.
not like they went through anything to have to get that position. And then you got the cliques that's within each one of them at the same time too.
Mhm.
So like where over east where I was at on 72nd and Yates, that area was called Terror Town. Now
Yep.
it's a bunch of cliques over there. One part of it is called No Limit. You know, when I was growing up, I'm 45. So when I was growing up, that was Terror Town.
Yep. I remember that.
It's
Wow.
and then like what she was saying with them not being able to, they using AK-47. They can call it Draco or whatever they want. It's using the
Mhm.
a 7.62 round, and it doesn't. They using it without the arm brace or stock on it or whatever. So it's gonna jerk. Branch, you know better than
Yep.
anybody else.
They're recoil.
It's gonna jerk. They're
Look,
gonna miss their
he
target.
talking
They
right
don't
now.
know how to handle these guns.
Mhm. They don't.
Mm.
Like
They don't know how to use
I
these
remember
guns.
being in high school, you know what I'm saying? And you know, in high school I was dealing with a nigga off the west side. He was a four corner hustler. You know what I'm saying? You from the west side, Chris, so you heard of four corner hustlers. You know, I was dealing with a four corner hustler. You know, he taught me the fucking game. You know, like I could if I walked up to one of these young niggas and I tell him spit your lip, I bet you they couldn't do it.
They
Now, what
don't.
does that mean?
They don't.
Dog barking. I
The
ain't down.
literature.
I really don't know how to explain
That's
that.
my dog. That's my
It's
dog.
funny. It's funny you say
Yeah,
that.
he
It's
knew
funny
what
you
it
say
meant.
that because
But your
when I
dog knew what
first
it meant,
came
though. He knew
home,
what it meant.
I came home
He
from
knew what it
prison.
meant. He
I
about to
went
spit.
back
Why
to
you
the
little
block.
head? Do what he said.
I went back to the block, and one of the brothers asked one of the kids to spit his lip. It was just, he asked him to recite the Stone Creed. He didn't know.
Yeah,
See,
okay.
that's my
He didn't fucking
point.
know, and it's
That's my
damn
point.
shame because
They
that's the
don't know
first
Really?
thing we
shit.
had to learn.
Yep, it
Yeah,
is.
that's the
See, and
first
I'm
thing
a
was the creed.
female. And I'm a female. And for me to know that,
Yeah.
what does that say to you? You know what I'm saying? Like these young niggas, if I walked up to any of them and be like, hey yo, spit your lick, they can't tell me shit. So like even me at the age that I am, okay, they'll look at me like I'm a OG, like I'm a OG if I ask them some shit like that. Cause they'll be like, damn, how she know about that? Damn, you know, what you been dealing in your back days. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know shit. So because they don't know shit, they don't have anything to honor. So because they don't have anything to honor, they just doing whatever the fuck they think they want to do. And what they doing is fucked up. And they just don't understand that that would not be honored by the code.
That's them
Right.
no namers though. They trying to make a name for themselves. And they don't know what they
Yeah,
doing. They lost out there.
it's
They
lost.
lost. And
It's just what
they
you
Yeah.
lost
said.
straight up.
It's just
You
what
know
you
what I mean?
said,
Yeah,
twin. You
they
know what I
trying
mean?
to
It's a
find
bunch
where they
Mhm.
of lost
lost.
people trying to find their way, and they feel as though, oh, me and my homeboys, we cool, we got such and such, we good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of actually having some type of code about something. You know what I mean? Nobody pulling their coattails, and that's why you got. And I don't know nothing about games, so I ain't even about to talk about that really. But uh, I think that's where you get this whole thing of set tripping. That when I first learned about that, I was like, "What? Like, hold up, y'all could all be in the same joint and still be against each other?" Like, I was like, "Yo, that's crazy to me." Like,
They
So
trying.
John Robinson wants to know what split your lip means.
Yeah, they trying. What that
He
mean?
needs to
Spit
break
your lick.
down.
It's LIT. LIT.
LIT?
Lit is short for literature.
Yeah, man, I was about to
LIT.
say, got to be. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And that
So
actually
basically,
knowing that stuff and all that stuff actually saved one of my boys' life. Because if anybody knows anything about Chicago, most of these dang old black kings think everybody black is a gangster disciple. So my boy was a four corner hustler, and I forgot which prayer he asked on the recited, and the black king asked on the recited. They was gonna kill him, and
Yep.
he knew it, and that's what saved his ass.
really?
Like the east side, like alphabet land. That's what I call it, because the streets go from like A to Z. That's Latin Kings over there. It's like at a certain point of me growing up, I kind of knew where the gangs were. And it's like, for me, I've always felt safe. Because I've always had a big ass family. People knew who my uncles were. People knew who my cousins were. If I was on the west side, people knew who the guy I was dealing with was, or like my family that's on the west side. So I always felt safe.
Yeah.
But everybody doesn't feel that way that I have. So it's like I know stuff because I've dealt with or I've been involved with situations like that.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't, get that type of hood education, I guess you could say.
Do you feel like, just a question, do you feel like you would be safe or feel safe regardless beyond that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if your uncles and you didn't have that big family there, do you still think that you would feel safe?
Yes.
All right. And
because my uncle's old as hell now, so they not doing shit.
I mean, not just that,
You know?
I think some people are just comfortable in their environment. Like, it's one thing I told somebody, like, everywhere I go, when I go to Las Vegas, when I go to Chi-Town, when I go wherever, first thing I want to do, they be like, yo, don't go here. Guess where I go?
There.
Because I feel comfortable. I'm like, yo, city is city. Like, this, I feel comfortable right here. All right, these are my people. I know how to move right here. You know what I mean? So
I don't know if you know how to move. They say spit your lit though.
right, I might not know that, but I don't know if it would come up on me.
People in Chicago not just gonna randomly walk up to you and just ask you that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, and then they gonna know that I'm not from there.
Not no more.
And that's easy to explain.
They don't know anything.
Right, and they're not gonna ask you just because, like what Chris said, they don't know it, so they can't ask you that shit. But when I have people from out of town come and visit me in Chicago, that's why I take them straight to the motherfucking hood.
Okay.
I take them straight to the hood.
To the food spot, right? The hole in the wall that got that good food.
In the wall,
right?
When you get you motherfucking Italian beef dipped with hot peppers, wings with mouth and hot sauce.
Really?
Yo, we going to Chicago.
Now we talking.
Twin try to go to Chicago right now.
We headed out there. Let's go.
We get to Chicago and we get some of that real quick.
I'm taking you straight to the hood. Like, even females, like one of my girls came here. She visited me like before my daughter was born. She visited me from Cleveland. My baby father is I guess you can consider him a thug, a gangster, whatever. I don't know what that nigga do. But anyway, she came here and she was out here with me, and I took her straight to a hood party. I'm talking about in the backyard of somebody auntie house, in the hood. And she had a great time. She had a better time there than she did at a club downtown. So it's like, yeah, we in the hood, but it's really nothing to be afraid of, because the people that you with really gonna protect you if you're in this environment. Like, as a woman, I don't know what it's like for a nigga, but as a woman, we protected,
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
As a woman, they're safer. They're more likely to come at a male than I don't know if it's a testosterone thing or what, but they're more likely to come at a male than anything else, or challenge male. Even though some women have been shot just for not talking to a dude. These guys,
that's true.
Some of these guys, I can say all of them, but a lot of them are sensitive now. So
that's some beta males, man.
Yeah, of course. I can attest to that. You know, like I sometimes if I'm out or whatever, niggas are really aggressive with me for some reason. I don't know if it's because I'm tall and they
How
feel
tall
like
are
it's
you?
I'm 6 feet.
Oh,
It seems like you got a
Ooh.
no back down, no BS mentality. So it might be because you think you
oh.
pop off. It seems like you just ready to
But I
go.
don't pop up though. Like I'm a
Okay.
very transparent, I'm an honest person. So if I'm not interested, I'm gonna tell you that I'm interested. But a lot of times men approach me aggressively. And I don't know if it's because of my size or what, but it's like they approach me and they try to sit their dick on the table and I be like, I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes I give them my
Yeah.
number because they're so aggressive, and then they'll call me on the spot. I'll be like, thanks for calling on the spot. Now you're blocked. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Just to be
that's your
safe,
real.
right? Just to be safe. Okay.
So let me ask you a question, Chris. What's the solution for, the media likes to, like you said, the media likes to pump out big numbers of what's going on in Chicago. What do you think what's the solution as far as like how can we make it safer for people like you and Arie and Arie's daughter to walk around safely? What's the solution? What do you think?
The only thing I can think of is re-educating our kids. Um, and certain areas need jobs. Like she
Hmm.
was saying that when they were in looting, I just came from the Roseland area earlier, passing out food, and half the area that I was in is boarded up still.
Hmm.
So it looks like half the town is abandoned, and
Mm,
Hmm.
people in the area need jobs. It's not,
mm,
and they need to put more counseling out there. Not only that,
Hmm.
we as a people need, and especially people that grew up in areas where there's a lot of violence and stuff like that. Black folks need to stop being afraid to get counseling,
mm.
thinking it's taboo to get counseling and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I think that'll help
yeah,
tremendously.
yeah. For some reason, black people they think it's taboo to have mental health issues, and they
Hmm.
don't want to talk about it.
I
So
agree.
that creates
Yeah.
other issues within the community that you may live in.
I mean, I
Hmm.
think you can easily see why that is because we already are, I guess, kind of operating maybe at a step down. You're already looked at as, half of this or a quarter of that. So the last thing you want to do is go somewhere and admit that you even have a problem.
Yeah. So Ari, let me ask you the same question. What's the solution here to make it safer?
Resources. Um, our children don't have things to do. Our children don't have places to go.
Hmm.
There's not white people got boys and girls club. you know, we have a YMCA, but there's one Southside YMCA. It's on 63rd and Stony. That's down the street from my old house.
Yeah.
There's not any type of outlets, you know. There's not gyms that the guys can really go to hoop at. There's not environments that are created with the positive reinforcement behind it to allow for all this extra pent up energy or for them to be able to go places and to educate themselves on certain things.
Right.
So what are they left with? They're left with being in the streets.
Idle
Are their
care, right?
parents parenting? You
Yeah.
know, a lot of times we see these young kids, young males, young females out here, and you think like, where are your parents? All
Yeah.
parents don't parent. So
Facts.
because
Facts.
all parents don't parents, they
True
have to have
statement.
some type of people. They have to have like a version of a person that they admire, usually to kind of model themselves after. They have to have some form of a role model. But if they
Like a
don't have
mentor.
access, exactly. But if they don't have access to that, then what are they left with? They're left with just trying to find their way. So
Right.
how do you find your way? Trial and error.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they model themselves after what it is that they see.
That you see.
So if all that they see are these niggas hanging out on the block,
What
you
you
know what I'm
gonna
saying,
do?
and shooting the shit, if all they know is
Right.
the ops, going after the ops and doing all of this other goofy shit, that's what I call it. That's a
Yeah.
Chicago word, goofy shit. Then they don't see anything else. you know?
Yeah.
So because of that, it's like, what are we left with?
Yeah. And you know what? I do believe this. Kids go through a lot of trauma because
They
you
do.
got to be in a lot of pain to, by the time you're 14, 15, be ready to take someone's life.
You
You know what I'm
do.
saying?
Oh
You
yeah.
have to be in a lot of pain. Some has to happen earlier in your life to be able to have that
Mhm.
mentality. Like, look, I'm gonna go out there and shoot this. It's a
I
different
agree.
type of mentality.
Even if it's not a lot of pain, it has something to do with your mentality. Your
Well, it's
mentality
some type of trauma,
Something
some
is
type of
lost in
trauma.
it.
Exactly. What you saying exactly what Arie was saying, because I had to reassess that as an adult going through Baltimore, and I won't say too much, but there was something that I was expecting to happen to me, growing up in Baltimore regardless. And the craziest thing about that is I wasn't worried about it. I was just like, this probably gonna happen at some point. I'm probably gonna get shot at some point. My friend's getting shot. This
Mhm.
person died, that person died. You know what I mean? So you think about the psyche of a child that expects something like that.
They don't got nothing to lose.
And I didn't have a family that was into none of that. My family was the exact opposite of that. So could you imagine a child that family is in that? They're being taught that in the home, then they
Mhm.
see that in the street. How you expect them to come up out of that?
They don't have nothing to
Yeah,
lose,
I mean, I totally agree.
you know?
I totally agree.
And it takes, the thing about it is that a teenager or a young adult doesn't realize that everything that they do is essentially a choice. When you wake up in the morning, everything that happens after you open your eyes is a choice.
Fact.
You choose to go to work or you choose to call off. You choose to drink coffee or you choose to drink water. Everything that occurs within your day after you wake up is an active decision. They don't see it that way. And because they don't see it that way, and they just really going with the flow and not really taking it by the reins and directing it, or making it in a way there where it can benefit them, they just do whatever. So if they see somebody else doing it, they do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Coburn said, "How did you do it?" So Chris,
Who's that directed to?
I guess he's talking about the people from Chicago. So Chris, how did you do it? How did you get away from that cycle and break that chain?
Actually, to be honest with you, it was the birth of my daughter. I had her at 20, and I knew then I couldn't leave her like that. With that, like, I'm gonna call it a stain. Like, I got dropped in the streets or something, or went to jail for doing something stupid,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to leave her out there like that at that time. So I did get, and to be honest with y'all, I did get caught with a pistol because I was really trying to lead that lifestyle, but people kept coming at me still. So I got caught with a pistol. Um, I ended up doing 3 years on probation, and after I got off probation, I went straight to the Marine Corps.
And the Marine Corps
So I
changed your
didn't.
life.
That's why I went in the Marine Corps so late. Somewhat. I think it made me more disciplined. Even though my father was there, he was a disciplinarian, and my mom was more so. But I think it made me more disciplined. It made me more structured, and able to multitask a lot as well. So I really I don't think I would be in a position I am right now, financially and everything else, if I hadn't went to the Marine Corps.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now Ari, I know you have a daughter.
Mhm.
Do you ever think about what you're going to talk to her about to like avoid a lot of this, to stay on the right path and stuff like that?
I'm very transparent with my child.
Okay.
Um, and I want her to be aware early.
Hmm.
I have a therapist, you know, so she's already aware of the benefits of mental health, you know. So it's like certain things that have been stigmas within the Black community, I've shattered. And my child is only 5. You
Wow.
know, because I'm a parent and I have the choice to teach her a certain way, I want her to be able to feel comfortable with certain things that I didn't or I wasn't necessarily comfortable with growing up. You know, I wasn't always comfortable talking to my mother. I want her to be comfortable talking to me, you know?
Right.
So, you know, as a parent of a young female, you know, of a girl, hopefully I have a son in the future, but um I gotta let her know. I gotta keep it real with my kid. When she gets
Mm.
to an age where we can have a free conversation,
Mm.
then guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna have that free conversation.
There
Right.
you
You
go.
know, because while I want to protect her as much as I can, I can't protect her from every fucking
Everything.
thing.
Yeah.
So because me knowing that I can't protect her from everything, I want her to be in the know about most things so that if she is in a situation where I'm not there to protect her, she can protect herself.
Mm.
I'm not going to let my child be out in this world where she don't know shit. She can't do shit. She don't know how to handle shit all because she's a female. You know what I'm saying? You know, boys grow up differently than girls do. You know, boys aren't as protected as girl children are in most situations. But I want her to know game. You know,
All right.
and her
True.
dad's not
True.
really around to teach her game, but I
Mm.
know the game, my damn self. So
Mm.
because I know the game, when she's at the age for me to teach her the game, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach her
True.
that shit.
That's what's up.
Okay. Okay.
So
Now,
before we switch it up, because we're gonna switch it up, I just got one thing because Chi-Town is definitely so much more than what people have been talking about over the past couple of years. I don't even know how it got coined. Like it seemed like y'all the talking point for anything that goes wrong black, and I
definitely.
hate that. And that's why we got to really, to
Yep.
really tell the real story.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? So before we switch it up, I want y'all to tell me what Chicago has to offer other than what people think as far as when it comes to violence.
I'm glad you said
What
that, man, because I was going to ask
y'all
that
love
same
about it?
question.
What's the culture in Chicago?
I couldn't.
Because I know it's
Yeah, I
deep.
couldn't hear the question.
Go ahead, Chris.
Chris can hear the question.
Go ahead.
I couldn't hear the question. It might
Tell
be
him.
your feed.
Be more. Go
Be,
ahead.
be
More
go
He
again.
could.
repeated.
He
I
couldn't hear
couldn't
the
hear the question.
question.
Oh, my bad. I was just saying, can we hear something else about Chicago that y'all love, that's part of Chicago,
Yeah.
other than what people hear about all this killing and all this other
Yeah.
stuff? Because we know Chicago was a city full of so much culture, so much everything between, you know, music, food,
Yep.
everything. So tell us something else about Chicago that people need to know.
Yep.
Man, um, during the summer, I mean, it's always all year long. There's something to do. Yeah, it's we probably got the best rooftops in the country. Um,
Really?
Yes.
we always during the summer, Chicago, what they did before the pandemic, they threw they you go downtown, they have live concerts down there every Saturday, I think it was. They set up a little ice rink down there in the wintertime. They like a tree lighting,
Hmm.
the Magnificent Mile. We got Navy Pier, which they're gonna shut down on the first. But man, it's a lot to do here. It's a lot. The food by itself.
Yes.
But I was in North
Mhm.
Carolina. I hated the food. You coming from here, even when I travel to other states, I don't like the food.
Yeah.
I don't like the food. It's a
Really?
lot to do. The people
Okay.
good. The people are good too. The people are good. It's one.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's one of the most segregated cities I've ever been to. But
Hmm.
the people, for the most part, are good.
Mm.
So you when you say it's segregated, you mean like what? What exactly do you mean?
Probably like Philly.
Um,
Yeah. I would think like Philly.
Like
I just say
Philly?
like off of 110th and Western. So it's a predominantly white area. and then you'll go over Inglewood being predominantly black.
Okay.
You have parts of that's all Hispanic. You know, it's really segregated.
Pilsen.
It's not like where what you say?
I
Like
said,
when I
yeah,
went to
Pilsen.
yeah. You go certain cities, you'll see Mexicans and blacks living together, or Puerto Ricans and blacks living together and stuff like that. So it's not like that here, really.
Wow.
So let me ask a question, Ari. Let's say Twin comes out there to visit you, right? Take, yeah, you know what I mean. Take us to a day in the life strolling through Chicago. Where you taking him? What y'all doing? So
Well, we doing black owned shit.
Really?
So we
Okay.
going absolutely. Like Chris said, it's so much food here. It's so much stuff to do here.
I love
You
it.
know, so we'll probably go to a well-known restaurant called Batters and Berries. It's a black-owned restaurant. That's one of the popular ones here. You know, they have really good food, but we'll probably just travel and do random shit. To be honest with you, you don't really need a plan in Chicago. Before the pandemic, you can literally pull up on some shit and be like, "Oh, y'all kicking it, huh?" And then you be like, "Okay, well, it's a party then."
What y'all saying, like, Joe? Don't y'all be saying Joe or what y'all say?
Yeah, we say Joe. Yeah. But it's like we have Lake Michigan, so we have the beach. So we got like Lakeshore Drive. It's kicking spots on Lakeshore Drive. At the pier. It's not everything doesn't necessarily have to be downtown. There's a lot of nice things downtown, but it's other shit to do here. It's like the city. We got a zoo in the city. On the north side. So Chicago, people think that we're supposed to come to Chicago and we're supposed to just stay downtown. No, not necessarily. If that's what you want to do, then you can do it. But that's not where the best food is.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Well, that's great to hear. I'm glad to see that there's positive sides of Chicago.
Oh,
we be chilling.
We already knew that.
Yeah,
we be chilling. It's just that the media act like we don't.
Of course.
Right.
But that's their job.
Of course.
That's their job.
Right.
That's their job. They supposed to show when shit get turned up.
Yeah.
Right.
You think I'm not like I could kick it out on the block sitting on the porch till 2-3 in the morning and be completely straight on 63rd. Like nobody is gonna fuck with me.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's their job. It's their job. That's what they supposed to do.
Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna switch it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about some relationship stuff.
Let's go.
And I know Ari could talk she could talk for days on some craziness. But
you don't know my life.
I know. I know what you say on your podcast, but
talk about it then. Let's go.
Hold up. You got a pod?
Yeah, you got a pod.
Yes, she has a podcast.
Hey, well, shout your pod out. What's your pod? Shout it out.
This is how we got involved with her.
Hold on, shout your pod out. What's your pod? Shout it out.
It's called Arie Unleashed.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Yeah. I think it was a sponsored video. I ran across it. I said, "Oh, she talking crazy." I said, "Yo, listen to this." And then next thing you know, we following each other, and that's how it went. Straight like that.
Yeah. So are you by yourself doing your pod, or you?
It's all me, baby.
All you, huh?
She don't need nobody else.
I don't need nobody else. I'm a Gemini. It's like 12 of me.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
All right. Enough said.
When your birthday?
Enough said.
June 14th. What you getting because you late?
Enough said.
Oh, your birthday June 11th?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all rate close to close. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. It's 12 of me. I don't need nobody else.
Yeah. So twin.
What's good, brother? What's happening?
We need to hear some stories.
We got a story. I know you got a story for us.
You got stories.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Story time with Twin.
Me too.
Let's go.
It's twin time. It's twin time.
I mean, what you want? Ask a question? you want to know?
What's an issue that you faced being a single man? You know, because a lot of us ain't been there in a minute.
Especially right now. COVID,
I mean, right
pandemic.
now, you ain't.
What's going on now?
I mean, at this point now, you're not really going out in the world. You're not mingling. So to catch somebody is I mean, it's kind of far in between. You're mostly on the internet. You're online. You're online trying to catch you something. Possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. But at that time, I mean, a lot of stuff you catching is, can you believe it or can you not? You're telling you stuff that's false. You don't really know the real them. I believe you have to really talk to a person to get to know them. But that texting and hearing from here and there, that's not real. You're not really no connection. You know what I'm trying to say? So that connection isn't there. So it's like, I mean, do you got something or do you not got something? When everything open back up, you go to check this person out, and y'all connecting now. You feel like, shit, this ain't it. This is whack. I'm not. You know what I mean? It's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss right now.
Kid, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Ain't no I'm messing with Nicole.
Yeah, here she go.
Yeah.
So are you just texting back and forth, or are you FaceTiming these people? What's really going on?
I mean, personally, I'm working right now.
Of course you are. Let's go.
I'm just keeping listening. I'm keeping it real. I'm just keeping with the working right now. It's not right now. It's not enough to get my brain, stimulate my brain. If you ain't stimulating my brain, I'm not interested. So
okay. So you need somebody.
I'm on another level.
Okay.
I'm on another level.
Okay.
It's, you know what I mean? It's more
Let
deeper.
me find out.
I mean, you need that intimacy. It's more deeper. So that physical, that touch, that ain't. I need a little more. I need a little more.
So dealing with women, what's issues that you've been dealing with? Like any problems that's been going on? Anybody give you any things?
I mean, females now. I mean, you got females nowadays that don't know their self. So they're a little confused and withdrawing. You know what I mean? They don't know. You know, you ask them what you got going on in the next 5 years. They stump. They can't get past 6 months. That's a problem. You can't give out what you got going next 5. You're not where you going. You know where you're going at? You stuck. If you stuck and you don't have your life and where you're going, at least have some little bit of ambition. You need ambition. I mean, you know, y'all shouting out, you know, I'm independent. I got my own this. I got my own that. But where you going with all this own stuff? Where you going to the grocery store? You going to the mall? Where you going to skating rink? Or you going to the next dealer? Are you going to go get you a blunt? Where you going? I mean, where you going with this 5 year plan? Do you have something set up or not? Now, most of them, they don't have it. They're not there. They're not there. They stuck in what they see on the outside world, and they don't see past that. They don't see past their set.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you agree with him, Arie? You agree with him?
I agree with him, not just for women, but everybody.
Okay.
It's true.
It's not just women.
That's true.
Okay.
This is true.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't date bitches. I don't got the patience.
Oh, she don't mess with them beta and them Charlie. She need an alpha male.
I don't date the women. I don't dabble in the vajigglies. So.
No, she's talking about women. She ain't even talking about men. She's talking about women. Period. Right?
No. She talking about soft as men. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
A lot of times people just don't know where they're going in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, then you got a lot. And then you got, I mean, at the same time, you got women that can come from, you know, a situation where they was broken, where they was talked to like trash.
Let's talk about it.
It's not, and I mean, and now they hurt, and now they come and move to something else, you know, and now they, you know, they trying to move to something else. They still not from that past where they just came from. So now,
let's talk about it.
You building on working from what they came from. You drove them out, go through that, but they needed that more time to get through it. But they kind of move a little too fast and didn't get there yet. So they jumped into something else because they, you know, everybody, they want to be happy. You feel me? But you want to be happy, but you got to take that time to know yourself.
Right.
But do they know what happiness is, though, is the question. Because a lot of times people want to be happy, but they think that they're happy.
That's a phrase now. She said jiggly.
I say that on my show all the time.
Oh, yeah. That's all the time on her show. That's all the time. Yeah, definitely.
Point. That's my thing. Yeah. But the thing about happiness, let's talk about happiness since you brought it up. A lot of times people associate happiness with the counterpart. They don't even know how to be happy by themselves in order to be happy with somebody else. So because of that, they go out and they seek something within somebody else that they're missing within themselves. And that's why that shit don't work.
Right.
Because if they find it in somebody else, they don't even know how to care for it and handle it.
Right. But you know why that is though, right? Because
they don't take that time.
They take the time. They find their peace in themselves. You find that peace
they don't
in
take
yourself
that time.
first. Once you find that peace, then you can go forward.
You can't find that peace without acknowledgement. So if you don't acknowledge
right now, do somebody got the collection plate right now?
Facts.
If you don't acknowledge, a lot of times, and I'm gonna speak on behalf of women. A lot of times we don't acknowledge our hurt. As far as people, we don't acknowledge our hurt. We don't acknowledge what part we had to play in certain situations. We don't acknowledge our fuck ups. If we don't acknowledge our hurt, the part that we had to play in our fuck ups, then we can't get over it. You can't fix some shit that you're not aware of.
Right.
So if you don't become aware of it yourself, then what happens? You just keep broadening that bridge.
Right. It goes over and over again. It keeps going.
Exactly. And then it's a cycle. Right. It's a cycle. Because you think because you're still in the mindset of, I'm still doing the right thing. I'm still doing the right thing. I'm still doing the right thing. But you don't understand that right thing is not necessarily the right thing.
Right.
So it's like at a certain point, you're going to have to branch off and be like, okay, this shit ain't working. I'm still on this hamster wheel. Let me hop off this hamster wheel for a second and let me reevaluate some shit.
Right.
We don't do that.
But I say, when you get to that point, a lot is too...
When you're tired.
Too fast and right. But by that time, you'll be like 8-10 years or something. Now you're looking back like, dang. Well, you look back and see the mistakes you made over and over again in the past 5-10 years. Like, all the time you wasted. You thought you say you learned.
Because
you didn't learn. Because you still...
So two things. We don't leave at the first sight of a red flag. We don't evaluate a red flag. we don't evaluate red flags. Okay, because we be blinded by some shit.
Of course,
we be too close.
We know what you blinded by. We know what you blinded by.
You know what I'm saying?
But that goes both ways.
It does.
It does.
And it's not always the dick, because the dick could be mediocre, but he can still treat you well. So let's make sure we got that clear. It ain't always the dick.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have some moderate dick, but he didn't treat me well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the treating me well part that I like, not the dick part.
But he treated me well. He opened the door.
Because exactly. Because at the end of the day, I can use the toy. And come quicker than the dick ever make.
We can keep her. We can babysit her. We can keep her.
You know what I'm saying? I come quicker from a toy than a dick can ever make me come. So with that, it's not always the dick. But the thing about it is that sometimes we're too close to the bigger picture that we're not really paying attention to the details. So because we're not paying attention to the details, we ignore those red flags. But when you acknowledge your red flags, you got two decisions. Okay. One decision is, I'm going to dip. And when I say dip, I mean you dip fucking immediately. That second option is this red flag something that I can get over or push through?
Right.
Okay. And from there, you segue to the yes, this is something that I can get over and I can push through, and you deal with it, but you don't speak on it because you've already made that decision that that's something that you're going to deal with. Or you hit that no, and that's when you make that decision that this is something that I cannot deal with, and you dip. We don't take a step back from certain situations. When we come across a red flag, we just deal with that shit because we hope that it's just gonna disappear.
It's gonna get better, right?
And it's not gonna disappear.
Yeah. But it also failed. The biggest part of the fail is that communication. The biggest part of the communication is lacking in these new relationships nowadays. The communication is gone. Like there's no communication. Like
I'm just gonna say this: you absolutely right on communication, but there's one more key to that. Honest communication.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you can communicate all day, but you can communicate some bullshit.
Right.
That ain't real. That ain't what you really feeling. Right. And the reason why I say that is because, again, you can still communicate with somebody and tell them certain things, but if you're not really giving them the real, you still not really communicating. But you absolutely right, yo. That is the number one key to me in everything. But I feel y'all. I want to let y'all keep going because y'all
back off of that though. You're right. That communication, that honesty go hand to hand. Without that, you ain't got nothing. I mean,
transparency. You got to be transparent though.
Right.
But the thing about that is, in order to be transparent, you have to be what? You have to feel safe enough to be vulnerable. If you're not in an environment with a partner where you don't feel safe enough to feel vulnerable, then that doesn't make a healthy environment for honest communication.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm dating a guy and he's always touch and go, you know what I'm saying? We don't communicate. When I say communicate, we don't talk often. We don't, do things. We don't have that one-on-one type of situation where I can actually learn him within a face-to-face type of environment. Then I'm not going to feel safe enough to tell you my deepest, darkest secrets. Like I'm not going to feel safe enough to show you who I am. Because I can tell you who I am all day.
Right.
When I'm talking to a guy, I don't ask no questions.
Really?
I don't ask any questions. I don't know. And they ask me, why haven't you asked me any questions? Because I want you to show me who you are. If I ask you, what's your favorite color? You're going to think about what your favorite color is. My favorite color could be purple today, but could be pink tomorrow.
That's Gemini.
It's like, it is. But I don't ask certain questions because
been the same since I was, I don't know, since I was a little kid. I ain't never changed up. That's that female stuff. Females be having
I don't ask for me
different favorite colors.
I don't ask certain questions because I don't want you to give me a rehearsed answer. I want you to show me exactly who you are within that environment.
That's right. The actions speak louder. You're right.
Actions speak so much louder. Like you're not gonna tell me that you want to date me and that you want me, but you don't talk to me.
Right.
You can't tell me that you want to date me and that you want me, but you don't do shit at all. I've cut off so many. I have no problem with telling the man that this shit ain't gonna work. I've had a man text me, "Hey," I respond, "Hello." "Hey, what's up?" And then I simply reply, "Are you going to say hello to me every day and not say shit else?" This isn't going to work for me. I got way too much shit that I have to do within my day to babysit a conversation.
Right.
So if you're not going to talk about shit, then we don't have anything to do here.
Because you on that mental. And that's the difference. What some people don't understand is there's so much game out there. It's a lot of game out there. And there's many different people that you can pick up just on that hay, but there's certain people that you can't pick up on that hay.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
you
I ain't no motherfucker for it.
Recognize that. You know what I mean? Like it's a point where you have to understand.
You got music going over there?
I had to dance on that one.
You know what I mean? Everybody ain't going for that hay.
Lean back.
I ain't going for the hay.
Everybody ain't going for that. You better bring something else. You better bring some mental stimulation up in this joint.
Right.
Just like what Twin was asking for. Because I'm like you, Twin. I need that mental stimulation. I need that.
I do.
See, this is the thing.
I mean, I'm not young, I'm not no 17, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid. Like, I'm grown. Like, I don't need, play games. If this is what you really want, then let's go forward. But I need you to talk, communicate, know where you come from. You know what I mean? We're not going to waste the time. You know what I mean?
Honey, let's keep it real. A lot of women undervalue their coochie coin. Let's be honest. They coochie coins are undervalued significantly. All right.
This is true.
Shit has been made so easy nowadays that men can do the bare fucking minimum and bitches would be like, "Girl, guess what? He sent me good morning text."
You and 3 other females.
But that's a low self-esteem because you know.
That's what I'm saying. They got undervalued coochie coins.
Right.
Lift it up.
I'm not shocked.
You know what I'm saying? Lift it up. See, my coochie coins are high. My coochie coins are high. I'm only gonna date a certain type of man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So what we talking
So
like?
car wash, you got like
10 G's.
Like
Like what we talking about?
You know, in the car wash, you got like them 8 quarters. You can put like 4 quarters and get the water out. You got like 8 or 9, 10 quarters to get in there. Some high coins. I got you.
Hey, Chris. How many points the shit's getting out there? How many points? How many points they getting out there?
I don't know. Y'all try to get me fucked up, but
Y'all just get this man in trouble. Leave that man alone.
no, I don't know. I don't know.
Leave that man alone.
Yo, I love the honest answer though. That's what's up.
No.
Oh man.
I've been off the market since January.
I know that's right.
Look,
Catch me, honey.
Look, I'm gonna be real quick. I'm gonna be real. Yo, I've been knowing my man since what? I got in 2001. I think I went to North Carolina. So me and him both served together, and my man is thorough. He's serious. You know what I mean? He about that. Now, even though we ain't close. I know he don't play. So when he told me that, you know what I mean, he in a situation, I was just like, oh shit, let me find out. He's like, yeah. So he don't play. You know what I mean? He don't play. My man don't play. You with it. Okay. So that's what's up, though.
She definitely gonna watch it later. I just had to let her know.
Yes, bro. Hey, girl.
So check this out. I posted something on our page earlier this morning, and it was like, can friends have sex and still stay friends? And we got a lot of mixed reactions on that. How you feel about that, Arie?
I don't fuck my friend, but I guess that's the thing.
That's the thing.
I don't have sex with my friend.
You never had a sex with a friend?
No.
Okay.
And I've had a lot of sex, but I've never had sex with a friend.
Okay.
Say what?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
How do you find a lot?
Let me scale this back.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
I have never had sex with someone who was my friend first. We fucked and then became friends afterwards, but they weren't my friend first.
Okay. How you feel about that, twin?
It happens like that sometimes. Look,
It bees like that.
It happens sometimes, you know. It's like before the friendship, and then the friendship comes after. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, that's my friend. That's just my friend. I mean, it's real life. It's real. You know? But I mean, at this point, you know, it depends, because that person you're with or your relationship you're going through with somebody else, it can come back to haunt you. You know what I mean? It depends on how you're going. Like if it's something constant and you stuck where you can't let that go, that friend that you keep that itch, you know, they might do something extra that this new friend you got ain't doing. You're trying to build with, and you now you're going back and forth. So at that point, now you're stuck. You know, and then when you bring that person, they come around, would you introduce them as your friend or my ex-sex buddy? Your
friend. They still your friend, right?
But the judge don't come back. She don't look at her a certain way. The other girl gonna peep that is going on. If she's paying attention, females they be knowing it. They be knowing it.
So Arie, do y'all be knowing? Do y'all be knowing if your man had intimacies with another woman? Can you tell?
Of course, I just don't care. Like I'm different.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
hold up. We gonna need a whole another episode for this.
Like, I'm
a
different.
whole another episode for that, bro.
I don't. I just don't give
You
a
had to
fuck.
bring her
So you
back.
different how, like, meaning like you like it don't
I don't
intimidate
care
you. I
enough.
get that. You don't care enough. As long as
So how
they
how, how
government
many
ain't
This is
care
my
about what you
thing.
got going on.
What she say?
What happened before me has nothing to do with me.
Mm.
Okay.
So it's like, why am I gonna let your past transgressions affect what I'm trying to get going right now?
Okay.
That shit's stupid. You
You
know.
confident in your position. Cool. All right, that's what's up.
Why would I
Okay.
not be?
Okay.
This is
Cool.
my thing. If you want to go back to where you've been, then by all means, you have free range to do so. Just don't waste my motherfucking time. You
Right.
know? But if you've had sex with a female that is now your friend, okay. Now I will say all women would not be able to handle a situation like that,
Thank you.
you know,
Right.
because you know, I mean, you
There
just
you
know
go.
how it is.
You
But
built different.
I've also put guys in that I've messed with in situations where my exes have been there. I'm transparent though. So I'll say we finna go to a party. It's a good chance that my ex-boyfriend is gonna be there.
And
You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know. Okay.
appreciate
If it's
that.
if it's a problem, then guess what? We're not gonna go to the party no more. But a
Right.
lot of times people aren't transparent enough to lay that on the table.
Right.
So it's like
True.
because they're not transparent enough, you're not preparing
True.
that other person to be able to handle that situation properly.
Situation.
You hitting them with the situation and you blindsiding them.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you
Right.
blindside them, they react because they feel bombarded by the situation.
Yeah.
It's like you're not giving them a chance to, you're not affording them that opportunity to be able to process that
Exactly.
and let you know whether or not that's a situation that they're
What
comfortable
that
enough
they
to deal with.
exactly.
That's where the problem lies.
That's
But
right.
at the end of the day, I still don't give a fuck.
Right. And that goes
Hey, both of them. See, that's
I will say
is
this.
that Chi-Town coming out? Is that Chi coming out?
No, it's just that I'm confident with who I am as a person. But I will say this: if
I'm
we
not
come
gonna.
across, or if we go, to a place and you tell me like y'all used to fuck with this chick and shorty is busted, then I'm finna roast you. Like really? Like this was what you chose, my nigga. Oh God! Like for real? Cool. I'm glad she upgraded, my nigga. I hope her personality is nice.
Oh wow!
Listen,
I'm not
you said
gonna.
earlier, her personality might have been nice. You know what I mean? It wasn't about
Yeah.
the look. It
I
might
date
have been
ugly
the
niggas
inside.
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
You
date
said
ugly
all the
niggas all the
time?
time.
all the time.
Oh,
All
yeah,
the
I love
time.
me a good ugly nigga,
All the
honey.
time.
Yeah.
So you think like you like Biggie
all
Smalls
y'all
niggas all
ugly
the
dudes
time?
out there listening right now, y'all got a chance.
Harry.
I
got a
love me a
Make
good
sure
ugly
y'all
nigga.
make sure y'all tune in.
Yeah, y'all got a shot to be on the team.
Oh,
Y'all got a shot.
Man, I love me a nice, moderately unattractive man.
Yeah,
Those be the
you can
ones
be
that you
on the Arie team right now. You heard me.
I don't need nobody
Be
else
on
on
the
my team. I got
squad.
enough. My roster full, so I'm not taking no
Yeah,
props.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Her stable full. But
My table full.
How many staples you got? What you got 3, 10? Like what
No,
you
I'm
got a
just
whole-
playing. No, I'm just one. But hey, until I'm married, I'm putting my eggs in several baskets. They don't put 12 eggs in the carton.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Okay.
Have your fun. Have your fun.
I bet you don't, twin. I bet you don't. But anyway. Yo, your phone been blowing up since we been here. Yo, so
Exactly.
I'm
thinking he gonna get the
Yeah,
hit.
man.
Yo, he gonna put it on mute.
What?
At some point in time, he gonna mute it, but no, he can't mute it.
Listen,
He
that was
actually
business.
got on the phone at one point.
He was like,
Yo,
Yeah, he was gonna call up people.
I'm gonna be there later. Hold on.
I would have said the chick, it was business, but cool.
Okay. It's all business.
It's all business.
It's all
It's always business.
Look,
I told you, I
Y'all
don't
crazy.
move around like that.
dollar sign himself.
I'm moving
Yo.
like that right now. What's good?
I can't even. I went to his house yesterday. I had to hide out because there was a whole batch of females over there harassing me.
Oh yeah.
Harassing me, yo. So I'm like, yo, Ty, yo, I can't go back outside because they harassing me. He's like, yo, yeah, they drinking, right?
When they drinking, it be lit. I already know. You like a piece of meat coming out there. You come outside, they looking at you like, man, who you? Hey, Hood.
I literally got all my tools together. Was like, yo, I ain't going back out there, yo. I ain't going back out there. You know, nah, it's real out in these streets, yo.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
They be horny as hell, drinking that whoever they drinking over there, they be lit. So step outside. If you allow it.
Say something before we get off. Shout out to my boy Chris. Like I said, I was in the Marines with him. Thorough dude, honest dude, real dude. Respect to you for first of all coming up out of your situation. Second of all, being a father to your child. Third of all, doing the work that you do in your community, even after the fact that and you don't have to do. You know what I mean? And that's just me personally because I know you, brother. I appreciate you. There's some things that you said to me that you might not know that still stick to me to this day after over what? Shoot, it's been what, 20 years now?
20 years. 20
Bro,
years.
You know, so yeah. So I appreciate you, brother, regardless of how much we talk or not. Understand that I appreciate you, my brother, and I appreciate you coming on. Same thing with you, Arie. I might don't know you personally, but I really think that you dropped some jewels tonight, and I really appreciate that. Beautiful mind. Seriously, like I wasn't even expecting that.
I was. I knew what we was getting into.
I knew what was raw.
I told you
she was raw.
I tried to warn y'all.
I knew she was raw, but I wasn't.
I think she took it easy tonight, though. She took it easy.
I wasn't expecting the mental.
She took it real easy. Trust me.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't expecting the mental game that you put out there, and I really appreciate that, and I respect that. So Lee, I give it to you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we leave, Arie, I want you to let everybody know how to tune into you and listen to your previous podcast and your new upcoming podcast in September that's coming out. I can't wait to hear them.
Oh, yeah. So I will be bringing my podcast back. It is called Arie Unleashed, ARIE. And then I hope y'all know how to spell Unleashed, UNLEASHED. SHED, yeah. I'm on SoundCloud. Where else am I at? Google Play, Apple, all that shit. Y'all can follow me on Instagram. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Y'all can follow me on Instagram. My IG name is ELLE614. Now whoever that is, you spell my name all the way wrong. I don't even know. Where you got that from? But it's literally on the screen. That's neither here nor there.
Yo, hey, Jay, put that back up. Put it back up, please. Put that back. Come on, fam. Come on, man.
Nah, yo. All right. See, what happened was he was trying to spell Audie.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know. But you know, it's okay, sweetheart. It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. But y'all can follow the pod. You know, I drop gems all the time. It's nothing.
All the time.
And I'm on IG, so y'all can follow me on IG. I don't really be posting that much on IG, but sometimes I drop a lot. Something on there. You feel me? But yeah, y'all can check me out. I'll be coming back soon.
For sure. Oh, and we're gonna have you back on for sure, yo.
Anytime.
Love to have you. Definitely. Glad I finally got a chance to get you on here. You know, it's been a long time coming, and got you on.
Yes, you did. Definitely. I'll be willing to come whenever. Just let me know ahead of time, and I'll be.
Yeah. I tried to give you a couple days in advance, and it worked out, so I'm glad. But yeah. But other than that, I'm glad everybody tuned in. Glad all our regular listeners tuned in, and it's been real. Had a great time with everybody. Thank you, Twin, for coming out.
Yo,
we definitely gonna have more Twin times because
I got some stuff for you. But
I know you do.
Took it easy tonight. You know, I took it easy tonight. We coming out the bench. I don't want to just.
Nah, yo.
But don't worry how much I want to hear that. You know, I'm trying to gate. listen, it's real out here in the field, son. It's hard to tell you. It's hard to tell you, man.
I'll make sure when I bring you on, I got Arie on, so y'all can bounce stories off each other. Cause her stories is epic, but that's a whole nother level. But, go ahead. But other than that, thanks for everybody coming out and joining us, and good night. Talk to y'all later.
Good night.
Go ahead, do your Russell,
Peace,
do your
peace,
Russell
peace,
thing. Thanks for coming out. God
Yeah.
bless you.
Thanks for that. Oh,
Thanks for
Chris
coming
too.
out.
Chris too. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, brother.
Hey, no problem, bro.
Appreciate you.